Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the podcast. My name is Dexter McDexter. We'd like to welcome you to the Peel, Garner, and the Rebirds podcast here on the YouTube channel. Why don't you hit like and subscribe, sit back, relax, and get ready to, hear a podcast. All right. Get out. Get down here. Yes, go. All right. Sorry about that.
How's it going, man?
It's fine. I just don't know why we have to still have an announcer.
I mean, I think it adds something to the show.
Putting us a little over budget, if you ask me.
Well, hey, sometimes you got to do what it takes for your art.
Got to do what it do, man. We can turn your little mic up a little bit there, Joe.
Can you turn my mic up a little bit?
Just a hair.
I mean, okay, we can turn it up. Can everybody out there hear me?
You know what? All of our fans, they always say.
They always say, "Turn Joe up."
More Joe.
That's right.
More Joe.
Most of our fans don't know what my name is, actually. If you're talking about fans of our actual band. But you remember back when we had a band and we played in places, and it was and we didn't do this
back before the end of the world.
Well,
welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to the podcast.
I got a special surprise for you in just a second.
Okay, I can't wait for that. Stay tuned for that special surprise coming up. Weather on the 8th.
How are you doing?
It's a good surprise. I'm doing well. To be honest with you, to be honest with the people, we just tried to do something for our YouTube. What do you call it? For our YouTube channel, for just our content. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it did not go the way we wanted it to go.
No, we didn't do that great.
And to be honest, we probably would not be doing a podcast right now if it had gone well.
All right. You win some, you lose some.
Man,
hey, this will make you feel better. This will make you feel better.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you about it one more time.
Okay. Tell me about it.
So that you understand what we're talking about.
Yes.
Down there, we got a
You told me that was your favorite song earlier.
I know. I love this thing.
It's all build up. There's no...
I know this thing doesn't go... It's just a story.
It's just a story. Just out down there talking about it.
Everybody calls it Polk salad.
Polk salad, Anna.
Like, wait, what do you call it?
That's Polk
Oh.
salad.
Oh, thank you. Okay. Polk salad. I'm glad you made it clear.
Thank y'all for having me on the podcast.
Now, I used to know a girl lived down there.
It goes nowhere.
She'd go out in the evenings and pick her a little bit of it.
You know what?
A little bit of what?
She'd go down there to the heels and pick up a little tour.
See,
anyway,
I love this song because you think, every minute you think, oh, here comes the song now. And it's just, no.
Yeah, man, if you hear this on the radio, you're like, oh, yeah, turn up. Oh, yeah.
That sounds cool, man. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, this is that song with that lick. Man, what is this? I always think this is like a Jerry Reed song or something. What is this?
I know. And even Elvis's version is like, it's the same. Oh, there it comes.
Oh, what?
Polk salad Annie.
When you kind of listen to this back, and I mean no disrespect to Mr. Tony Joe White.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a rich man's version of Jerry Reed. Like a pretty boy version of Jerry.
Rich boy version of Jerry Reed. What's this guy's name again?
Tony Joe White.
Tony Joe White.
Yeah, Polk salad, Danny.
It's like Jerry Reed is the poor man's Tony Joe White. That's really funny.
Yeah, but Jerry Reed's...
Dude, Jerry Reed's stories are amazing.
Anyway.
I love his little story songs. Amos Moses is one of my favorites.
That's Polk salad, Danny, for all you people that were wondering, what we were talking about.
And I know I've heard it a million times.
Oh, sorry, man. I don't think I'm bringing much to it after we failed at doing a midnight benediction today.
Failing at doing the midnight benediction is not fun. It feels very much like a practice to where your coach just finally gets mad at you.
You're fired.
And just where your coach is just like, okay, forget it. Just line up on the line. We'll just run laps.
Just stop, man.
Golly.
That wasn't good. Well, whatever. We got one. Then we didn't get one.
You know what? I did. Listen, we got one that I think was good, but I think we only got one.
Wasn't that?
still
So,
going, man. He's
I know,
still going with that
he's still
song.
going with that and stopped it or nothing.
You know,
I ain't stopped it or nothing.
like Eastbound and Down don't have to do that. It's a song the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, it's not this silly talking about what a 18-wheeler is.
But what's funny is that we've listened to this song like 5 times today. He has a harmonica around his neck, and he only plays it for like 1 bar at the end.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, somebody that plays the harmonica, when you play the electric guitar, it ain't like comfortable to have that thing around your neck.
That's
Up in your
funny.
mouth.
It's not just a fashion thing. You only put it there if you're wanting to play the harmonica, you're saying.
Right, yeah. Mine rips out my beard hair. It's miserable.
That does not sound fun at all.
That's why sometimes I'll be crying. People are like, oh, he's so into it. But no, man, this thing's ripping out that hair under my lip there.
Oh, there it was. Was that the harmonica?
There it is. Oh, we missed it. Sorry.
It's over now.
It's over.
That's it. He hit it that one note. That's really funny. He's like, I'm going to need it for that note that I like to hit.
He don't give a crap. He's cashing Elvis checks, man.
Even when you hear Elvis's version, it's the same. It's like, oh, it's just...
Yeah. It's all built up, no pop, man.
Right. Like, it sounds like it's the introduction to one of his other songs or something. That's funny. Well, there's Polk Salad
And a
Annie.
good old Polk Salad Annie talk, folks.
One time we had a request for Polk Salad Annie. That's when I learned what it was. Because after someone requested it, I was like, what? And I went home and I listened to it and I was like... it was that exact reaction like, oh, this song is cool. We do need to learn this song. No wonder we got requests for it. And I just kept listening and listening.
3 minutes later, you're
Yeah, I
like,
was like, oh, well...
oh, okay.
No, we're not going to tell some narrative on stage. We'll pick songs that we actually sing.
It's funny. Well,
You know, one time I had a moment. I feel ashamed kind of a little bit, but not too bad. But I had a moment where I was saying, you know how sometimes you'd be at practice and your team be messing up so bad, coach would just stop and make you run, or just be,
Yes.
just give up on what you're doing and get bad.
yes.
So I'm trying to homeschool my kid, and I felt bad, man, because I'm trying to teach her
You should
like
feel bad.
I'm trying to teach her how to like read some words.
Because you're not trained for this.
Well, so one day her head was not in the game. She was like, we're doing stuff like a review that we had done weeks ago, and she's already nailed it. You know what I mean? And she is just getting everything wrong because she's not. Her head's in the cloud. And so I wrote the word the THE. I wrote that on the board. And I just pointed at it and I said, tomorrow you better know what that word says.
Oh, man.
I walked out and quit teaching that day.
Laying down the law.
That was the end of teaching that day. I was just like, oh, okay, never mind. Look, you learn this word right here. By God.
You keep snapping at your students like that, you're not going to get anything for Teacher Appreciation Day.
I didn't think about that.
Well, you got to keep those surveys in the back of your mind, man.
I'm not giving her a survey. Screw that. Doing my best here. She better appreciate it. Yeah, right. I would hate it if I was her. I'd be like, what is my dad trying to do?
Anyway,
Leave me alone.
what's up, man? You get us any gigs today? Any bars out there want us to play there? Any bars open?
Man,
Some bar around here had to close down for the 3rd time. Some bullshit.
listen, I'll be surprised if we get invited back to the 7 or 9.
9 or 7, man. Especially when you mispronounce the name on the World Wide Web internet.
Well, I mean, what can I say?
We'll just edit
It's
that.
been that kind of day, man.
We'll edit it. This we've been going for like 8 minutes, right? 9 minutes. We'll just edit out about 4 minutes of that shit.
What if you got a clip of my voice saying 9 or 7, like, and put it in over where I said 7 or 9?
That'd be a lot of work for not even pay off.
Lazy. You could do it. If I was you, that's what I would do. But so everyone out there listening will understand. If they hear it as 7 or 9, they'll know that you were lazy and just didn't do it. You could do it.
Okay, what are we doing here?
Nothing. we felt a midnight benediction.
Felt
Now
it,
we're just sitting here talking about nothing. I got nothing.
Well, you like them pants that I gave you?
I do like these pants. You did give me these pants, and I do love them. I wear them all the time.
All right, moving on to the next thing that I can see in the room. Fuck.
I know it. Oh my God. And then before this, it was the microphones. It wouldn't work. It's like,
Oh, fuck.
everything is going wrong. This is ridiculous. Reminds me of the night that we were trying to record and a car just kept honking and honking and honking and honking.
That's why we started doing the podcast, because
Yeah.
we were trying to record and it was like some song. And it was just in the background.
Yeah. And I remember it was the same night we were having headphone problems, and that was going on. And we'd be sitting here getting all pissed trying to fix the headphones and get them finally working. And finally the headphones would be working. We'd be like, finally we fixed that problem. Okay, let's press record now. Honk, 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 honk.
Yeah, man, like it knew when we were pressing.
It was like it knew because it would stop sometimes. And you'd be like, okay, the horn has stopped,
All right,
the
let's
headphones
do
are
something.
working. Here we go. Nothing.
Nope, it wasn't happening. So we said, let's do a podcast.
Let's do a podcast. And
Now we've
that's-
given this to the world.
I know. And now we've come full circle. We should not be doing the podcast. We should be recording or something or doing something else.
Yeah, probably.
Oh,
But what
my
you gonna do, man? What are we gonna do? Do like real stuff?
I'm telling you. Like, no, right?
Hey, I got a question. Is it illegal to buy Cuban cigars now?
I don't know. I don't know. Probably.
All right. Well, call into the hotline if you know.
I think I've had a Cuban cigar.
I've had one, but it was back when they were like not legal.
I've had one, I think.
Somebody told me it was a Cuban cigar. I should back that on.
Right,
I should back up
How old were you?
18.
Okay, so it was probably like.
My roommate was like 22, and he was, I don't know how he got it.
So it was like a Swisher Sweet, and he was like, hey, look.
Look, I can tell you right now it wasn't a Swisher Sweet.
I used to smoke Swisher Sweets and think I was really cool.
Oh, yeah, I know. That's why I said it wasn't. I knew it wasn't that.
Yeah. I like a nice cigar. I have had a Cuban one when I was in Mexico, because I think Mexico would still trade with them. And I went down there for a vacation when I was whatever.
I'm going to start
Young.
smoking cigars, man.
Cigars are cool,
I think
dude.
that's going to be my thing.
Okay. That'd be cool. It'd make your skin look all interesting.
What do you mean?
Like, if you smoke enough of them. Are you talking about just casual, or are you going for it?
I mean, like, in the morning, I like a lot of cigar, and then I'll just kind of like have it all day. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
a
man.
little puffy puff here, but keep it in my mouth.
It will make you. You know what I thought about?
Like when this one, hey, you kids, get off my yard!
I thought about going with.
Get your dog shit out of my yard!
I thought
Have
about
that cigar like just run my mouth.
and people be like, "There's that guy that always smokes a cigar."
All right, when you said I thought about 4 times while I was trying to talk, so go ahead. Whatever you thought about.
Dick.
What is it you thought about?
I thought about going to a old school pipe, like you used
Yeah.
to see people smoke in movies and shit.
One of my roommates used to do that, man. Yeah, that's
Like-
the way to go.
I thought that it would make me look distinguished to do that, and it looks kind of fun when you have to like clean it a little bit before you use it. Gandalf uses one in the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay. Well, good for you, man.
Yeah. So that's what's new in my life. I'm considering.
You want to get into pipes, and I want to get into cigars.
Okay.
You know what's funny that reminded me of? When we were little, we used to always say what beer we were going to drink when we got older. Because, the beer commercials were always on TV.
That's really funny.
And I was always going to be a Bud Dry guy.
A Bud Dry.
Because I thought they had the coolest bottle. And I thought they would win the Bud Bowl sometimes. You remember the Bud Bowl?
Oh, yeah. The Bud Bowl.
And by the time I got old enough to drink, there was no such thing as Bud Dry no more.
Yeah, man.
Or if it is, it's like it was in a Bud Ice Dry or something, in a 40.
That's
Wasn't
really
like that.
funny. When I was little, I did not think I would ever drink beer.
Really?
I thought for sure I would not ever drink alcohol or use
when I was
tobacco.
little, when I'm saying little, I mean like 10, 11, 12. When you were 10, 11, 12, you were probably like selling beer to the kids out of your locker.
No. You know what? That's one thing I came around late on was alcohol.
Really?
Well,
Because,
what
what do you mean late?
how old do you consider a kid to be where it would be late for him to get into trying alcohol?
I don't know, man. I'm trying to. I can think of one time I saw you where you had definitely partaken in some alcohol.
Yeah.
I don't know how old you were.
But you think it should be older than whatever I was?
Probably.
Because I feel like if a kid that's about 17, there's a chance that kid has tried to have alcohol before. At a party, a beer. I'm not saying like start drinking heavy. You know what I mean?
When was the first time you did alcohol?
See, hey, but for real though, when was the first time you actually drank a full alcoholic drink?
I don't know about a full one, but I know at one of my dad had a high school reunion. My parents didn't drink, but like they had some kind of high school reunion.
Yeah.
At one of my high school friends' house, and they definitely had like margaritas or I think it was like a daiquiri type deal.
Okay.
And that
they had a little machine or something?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Like you would just get it yourself.
Right, yeah.
And my friend was like, hey, come over here and, whatever, we're going to do alcohol.
Right.
And so I went over there and we did some alcohol. But we were like swimming and it was like nighttime, so I don't know that I really...
So you like tried it, but you don't know that you sat there and drank a whole daiquiri or whatever?
Look, man, when I was in the hospital when I was 11, they gave me a Demerol shot. So there ain't much touched that since then.
Well, it's funny you say that. Like, I don't know you.
When was your
I am pretty sure I was 15 when I drank my first, like,
yeah, so like in the 9th grade too.
Full beverage of alcohol. And I can promise you it was something like a Smirnoff Ice or like a Mike's Hard Lemonade or something like that.
Oh, like I didn't drink that much in high school, like at all. Really. Yeah. But then I did have did I tell this on the story here one time? Because we've had a few we didn't air.
I don't know. Let's hear it.
So my friend, he's like, I didn't have anything to drink with my lunch in the cafeteria,
Oh, yeah. I remember this story.
And I was like, I'd eat something hot or spicy. And I was like, I got to go get a drink. And I was like, oh, man, let me have some of your Kool-Aid. And he's like, all right. like have as much as you want.
And he just straight.
And I just chugged it because like I'd eaten something hot,
So you were going for it like, I got to drink all this Kool-Aid.
Immediately, I'm like, what the fuck is that?
At school?
Yeah, at school. And he put his backpack on the table like this was a TV show, man. And he opened it up and there was like a bottle of gin. I had to ask him. I was like, what is that? It's gin.
Jeez Louise.
Motherfucking gin.
That is...
Oh, shit. All right.
That is brazen, man.
And he was like, go get me some more Kool-Aid.
To go with my gin. That's funny. That is like a Full House moment. Like
he was doing alcohol at school.
Did you follow your heart and do what was right and tell on him?
Oh no, I went and got him some more Kool-Aid. I didn't do it even. I didn't because I thought it tasted like complete shit.
No, see, I would never try something at school, man. Like I would never try to drink up there.
But y'all have very
smoke
many
a
people.
cigarette up there.
We had some people that would try some.
Well, I mean, I knew kids that would like
for crap all the time.
I knew kids that would dip for sure.
Oh yeah,
they do chewing tobacco, whatever.
It's funny.
Some kid. Well, no, I guess nobody did chaw. They all just dip snuff.
Oh, the first time I ever did like chew, like what's the Red Man?
Right.
Okay. So I dipped snuff before.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that for a minute.
Yeah.
And I thought I was like, all right, man, we were going to go golfing. And I was like, I'm going to get some chew.
Yeah.
So I got some Red Man chew.
Yeah.
And I just pinched a little bit off.
Yeah.
Put it in my mouth. Because I
Right. Because you'd done snuff.
I didn't know what I was messing with.
Right.
And I was like, man, that kind of does taste like raisin, like.
Right, yeah.
And like, I was spitting it or whatever, and it, whatever, kind of give me the same thing that the dip did. And I put some more in, and some like, man, I look like Lenny Dykstra on the third hole. You know what I mean? Just like, yeah. By the 6th hole, I needed an IV and like some kind of heart drug to help me get back on rhythm. I did not feel right.
Did not feel good, right?
No.
That's funny, man.
I made it through that time though, but listen. This other time, me and I don't want to say his name because he's a respectable name around here.
You and a friend of yours?
Yeah, we were like just out of high school, and I just started dipping snuff. I don't do it anymore, but back in the day, I don't do it anymore. Yeah. But back in the day, I did a lot. Mm-hmm. And we were golfing out there at the par 3, and we were on like the 6th hole. You know what was coming around?
Yeah.
And he had to drive me back in to get some water. Because I was so dehydrated, and I just went up there and popped a big old dip of snuff in, and by the time I was like laying on the green next to the sprinkler, like, oh my God, I'm dying.
That's funny that you then continued to do it.
Yeah, like my feet went numb, and then
That's really funny.
a couple bottles of water, man. I was good to go, bro.
I did try drinking for sure in high school, and I think I got drunk twice in high school. So really not that much drinking.
Bro, what? How? We were playing shows.
Not while I was in high school. No.
Weren't you graduated?
Yeah, I'd graduated by the time we were playing shows elsewhere.
Yeah. You're right. Okay.
So I would say in high school I didn't do alcohol very much.
Well, I didn't do very much. I was just trying to. I remember to hear your first story.
I remember though. You reminded me though about that show. I have a friend about a story.
A friend about a story.
Seriously. Good God, what a train wreck today has been. Mm-hmm. I have a story about a friend who, on his, I think it was his 18th birthday, or it might have been like his 16 or something like that, because we were all still in high school, and they had convinced him to try dipping snuff on his birthday, and he put it, of course, like you do the first time you ever dip snuff, you put it in and you're like, what? You know what I mean? For like the first few minutes, you're just like, what's the big deal, before it hits you. And so that's what he said. He was like, I don't feel anything. And someone was like, spin around in that chair, because he was in an office swivel chair.
Right.
And someone was like, spin around in that chair a bunch, it'll hit you real quick. And so he did, man. He spun around a few times until he got dizzy, and he didn't have a very good rest of the night, needless to say. But my dad used to do the chewing tobacco, the chaw style Red Man kind of stuff, right?
Nice.
And when I was growing up, I remember one time we were at like a football game or a baseball game. It might have been like Rangers or something like that. And, when you're a kid, sometimes you just grab your parents' stuff and start eating it or drinking it. And so I was thirsty as hell at this ball game, and he had like a Diet Coke.
Oh man, you drank the.
Yeah.
You drank the.
Immediately, I was like, "What? What is this?" Yeah.
You don't have a soul anymore, then.
Let me tell you, I still have a rough time thinking about that memory. That was rough.
I don't even want to laugh. That's awful.
I know. I'm telling you, that might be the grossest thing that ever happened.
What'd you do? Did you like go wash your mouth out in the bathroom?
No, I didn't know what to do. I just sat there.
Ugh.
I mean, I was little, man.
Just in shame, and then just.
Well, no, I wasn't like 13. And was like, oh, gross. I was like a little kid. I didn't, I was just like, ugh, and just sat there by my parents. Man. I don't even know if they realized I did it.
You know how sometimes you have another story loaded up, and like you'll be telling a story, and then I'll be telling a story, and then you'll probably think like, oh yeah, okay, I'll tell this after this.
Right.
Like, I had something loaded up, but that just made me so sick to my stomach.
I know, it's not the grossest thing.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. One of the JV baseball bus.
Okay.
JV baseball is kind of kick-ass. We kind of got out of, like, half a days of school, like, a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And,
it's the best reason to do sports like that, man.
It really is. And this kid had some snuff.
Okay.
We were all going to do some snuff.
Yeah.
And this other kid did it first, but it was his first time.
Okay.
And you know how the yellow dog school buses bounce up and down.
Oh yeah, man. Not a smooth ride. No.
Dude, he puked all over the place. And
on the bus.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like on his backpack. It was mostly on his backpack. And then he tried to like hold his bag out the in my memory, he tried to hold his bag out the thing, the window,
Yeah.
Like,
wow.
So gross. And nobody else did any snuff that day, to my knowledge. But what's funny about it now that I started telling that story is we thought we were hiding it from our coach at the front of the bus. Like the 15 of us that are on this bus.
Right, yeah.
And you knew he knew good and damn well what was going on. Yeah. He just didn't give a shit.
He probably thought these kids will learn a lesson. I'll let them do it. Watch this.
Idiot threw up.
I saw...
no offense, man.
If you're listening. If that reminds me of a story I heard. It was one of my friend's dads, right? He said he was in the military. Mm-hmm. He's flying on one of the military planes, like them cargo planes with all that room in it. And he said they're going through turbulence, and they knew it was going to be a rough ride, and they made a bet with these new guys and said, first one that pukes has to whatever the bet was, has to buy us all dinner, whatever.
It's probably something far worse.
And these two guys had set this dude up. It was a new guy, and they knew they were going to get him. So they would like have those they'd have air sickness bags, and they had them where they could like just hang around your neck in case you needed it quick, kind of thing, military style air sickness bag. And this guy had poured a Coke into it and acted like he threw up in it.
Oh,
and then his buddy reached across and grabbed it and drank out of it, and it made the new guy just throw up everywhere. And that's how they won the bet.
That's I like hearing things like that, man.
I know. Isn't that a good little get?
Sorry, my thing. I like hearing
Vomit stories?
Stuff like, yeah. Well, no, not vomit stories, but like, people just pulling a little rib on somebody.
Yeah. That's a pretty good one, man.
That is pretty good, man.
I mean, I'd probably have freaked out if I saw it, Oh, Jesus Christ. What
like
a day.
that time you played with Mike Murray and you tuned your bass down? No, he was tuned down, right?
He was tuned down half a step, and I didn't have the wherewithal to just try to play the song. Because I just looked at his fingers, and I was like, I'm playing a G. What's wrong?
He told me after it was over, he goes, until we figured out what was wrong, I thought, how am I going to tell Pete, man? Joe sucks. I don't know what you think of this guy. He sucks.
That's fun. You know what, man? I at the time, I thought, like, nothing of it. I was just like, oh, well, yeah. But I remember thinking, just if he had just told me I'm down half a step, I could have done, then I could have done it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. But he probably just didn't remember. You know how it is when you're back. Because that was like y'all's first song.
Well, he stopped in the middle of a song.
Because I'd gone home to grab my drums because we were going to play with him.
Right.
And y'all started off.
Yeah.
I came back and he told me that.
Yeah, I played like one song without you, with him, and it was so bad that he stopped in the middle. And I remember thinking like, and then he retuned his guitar. And I just remember thinking like, dude, why don't you just let me play half a step down? Like, I can do that if I just knew that was the case. But now looking back that I'm a better musician slightly, I feel like upset with myself that I didn't just like listen and go, wait a minute.
I don't know. That is, well, yeah. I guess if you're seeing somebody play like an E and you're like, oh, they don't match up.
Right.
First, I would just think, man, I'm at a 2. And then I would just think, oh, okay, maybe there's 2.
Well, listen,
you can't just assume it's one step. It might be a whole step, a half step.
Yeah.
Half step, whole step, half step.
Yeah, but he was playing regular shapes because I was following his hands. That's why it was so off. If I had tried to follow my ear, maybe I could have just been like, 1-4 or 1-5 or whatever. Well,
I'm sorry that happened to you, Joe.
Well, it did. And
Polk
I really thought Mike was mad at me for that. That's funny. I'm glad he...
No, he wasn't.
I'm glad he wasn't.
But he did think you sucked for a minute.
I did too.
He was like, man, what in the hell?
Well, it confused me too.
I've played with people before, though, that are like really good. Mm-hmm. Where like, okay, so I've played with them where I played the drums and they played guitar.
Yeah.
And then everything sounded great. Yeah. And then played a show with them where we both played guitar and just thought, dang, man, like, pick up on what I'm doing here, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, I know it just happened 45 minutes ago
That's true.
When we tried to record our Midnight Benediction. I know the situation you're talking about. I was there. It was me.
Look, man, to be honest, getting into that, we got one, right?
Yeah.
And when we tried to get the second one, it was like, it was getting late, and I was kind of in the back of my mind worried that maybe we're a little too loud. I don't know, I don't think we were, but then it was like, I couldn't really hear your guitar, you couldn't hear your guitar, and then what are you going to do?
Yeah, man. Well,
what you going to do?
Thank you for saying that, because I feel like that last one we tried to record right there was just like, we played it back, and I said, Pete, don't put that on the internet. I said, don't.
Right. That's horrible.
You were like, well, you want to play it again, or you want to do whatever? I was like, whatever, as long as that never reaches the light of day.
As long as you don't put that on the internet.
Don't do that. I don't care what you do.
And that's saying something for us. Mm-hmm. Think of the territory that covers.
Right? I know. Out of all the things that we have of us doing together, and I have yet to say, do not put this on the internet. Now, I do think some of the stuff we have, you just probably know that I don't want you to put on the internet.
Right.
But I specifically told you this time, don't do it. Oh, man.
Well, win some, you lose some, like I said. Anyway, you can check us out at our next shows at...
Nowhere ever.
At Blah. Well, actually, they're all private parties, huh?
Yeah. Hey, if you want to book us for private parties...
We do that. We're the private party band, apparently.
Possibly win a T-shirt.
We can't even get a good gig at our own bar.
You know what? If you book us a good gig out there, whoever's listening, you can win a free P.L. Garner and the Reburns t-shirt.
Hell yeah, you can.
So just contact us.
But we also need a manager or like a booker or something.
Nah, screw that. Dude, we tried managers. You know what? We have
yeah.
It's so weird. Every now and then we've got one that we thought, oh, this guy's good. And then like just, you never hear from him again.
Well, we also had that guy that was a blithering idiot that we thought was good.
Yeah.
And then booked us at that show, and we showed up, and he was just completely fucking shit-faced drunk at noon.
Yes, I remember that.
And the band, I know we already talked about it, but it was it was a horrible feeling of seeing that band before you and listening to that sound and being like, that's about to be us. And there ain't nothing we can do about it.
We had a good manager once upon a time, and then you punched him straight in the heart and killed him.
Okay, man.
True story.
First of all,
it's a true story.
He was born with his heart on the outside of his chest.
Yes.
Second of all, we had all done alcohol that night. Third of all, when we were being responsible and dropping him off at his house so that he could... Are you done? You're going to come at me with that and cough in the microphone. And so we could drop him off at his house so he wouldn't be driving after he had done the alcohol.
Yeah, that was very nice.
And somebody, I don't know what happened. We were,
You decided to kill him and punched him in the heart.
No. Somebody said something and somebody said something else. And he took a big old textbook. And he was sitting in the passenger seat and I was in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
It was a one little seat truck, And he just flung it up at my face like a Frisbee.
Our manager.
And just hit me in the mouth and the nose and just out of look.
Assaulted you like Jason Bourne.
This is what I did. So he's sitting right there where you are, and I'm sitting right here. And just out of reaction, I just went, like that. But
right.
I got him right on the fucking heart, man. Just bam. And he goes, and drops. The door was already open. He goes, and drops out and hits the pavement. And I look at my roommate who was driving, and I just thought,
you killed him.
I'm going to jail.
Right, yeah.
I just
manslaughter.
killed this guy.
Easily manslaughter.
He goes, it'll be all right. Just give me a minute. And I was like out of the car, like over him, just being like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, But in the back of my head, I'm also like, will you hit me with a fucking book?
Oh my Lord, I'm sorry. You kind of deserved it, but I'm so sorry.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty good.
Anyway, well, I guess we kind of ended on a better note than we started on.
Podcasts make me happy, man. I'm glad we did this. I'm much happier now than I was when we started this thing.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah, man. Dexter?
Well, I was going to try to tell you a dirty joke to make things really funny.
Okay. All right. I like dirty jokes.
I don't have one, though.
But you don't have one. You jerk. That was a good one to end on. Okay.
Let me think.
Okay. Yes.
Uranus. All right, let's get next here. All right, everybody. Thank y'all for sticking around through that. Not very planned out podcast going on today. Anyway, you can like and subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. And I'm Dexter McDexter, and you can look at me at my website, dextermcdexter.com, and schedule me for events. Well, thanks, Joe. I didn't think you'd participate in that.
Well, you just talk, and like I try to line it up with the end of my piano playing, but then you keep talking, Dexter, and it's kind of annoying sometimes.
That's a lot of mouth for somebody that just kind of sat there and rambled on. Fucking nothing.